Hello, welcome to today's collective general reading. As always, remember to use your own discernment, drawing with intention, and allow the message to be received with an open heart. A quantum reminder, we are speaking through symbol and story here. So please do not rely on any tarot reader for your factual evidence. You are always encouraged to do your own research, especially when engaging with strangers on the internet. Okay. I just like 2 minutes ago stepped out of one of the tea and tarot, transition, inner divine, events with witch and scythe. So that's totally a part of everything. That was just vibration on the cut, and then guardian angel. I feel so energized, and it's been something coming out recently. It's all through fire as this candle is dwindling down. Transition, inner divine, take your place. Take your place. To take your place is to be you. Dare to assert and share your vision while staying authentic and true. What I am seeing is the 3 here, but the 3 is actually a 4. And then seeing this kind of like, this feels like a flick of the wrist in one direction, while this feels like the wings in another. So something about, I suppose you could say the magical wisp and doing. Shamanic and sacred geometry. Okay. What message is there for the collective? Something about waving the wind. There was someone in the tea tarot, I forget who it was, but was talking about, well, I don't want to say your name because, anyway. But this person was talking about putting out a candle by waving a hand. Also, fire and air, air and fire keeps coming. And I know that a lot of people have had that recently. I keep hearing fire come up with different astrologers and people in different readings. It's come up for me in my own life. Let's do 2. Okay, we have water and waterfall on both, and then earth and moon. Interesting that it's fire and air going into water. So I am seeing this here is I'll say, okay, we're totally doing symbols. A cosmic clarification of what is happening earthside. And I'm seeing these 2, I don't even want to say people or apparitions. Oh, I should hold this under the camera. Wow, I'm glad that stuck and didn't go into the fire. There's something that you are dousing with water, with your intuition, but perhaps it's not for you to be psychically sensing into. It is time for action, this fire. And thinking of fire and air, considering smoke that had come out through the alchemical deck, the witness of a fire either in motion or extinguished, but something specifically about fire monitor. I'm seeing putting this water, waterfall, moon on bottom. Something about, don't worry about trying to catch it or keep up or record it all or keep track. Your intuition, your psychic sensing is going to catch what is for your flow to be received. So don't worry. On bottom, number 32, water, spring, earth. So perhaps this is more of what you're feeling now of, I don't have enough intuition. I'm running out. I need, hummingbird with air. Feeling the need to go elsewhere to find more fulfillment, or abundance is a word that's used so often in spiritual circles, but I'm trying to find another word for it. But this whoosh of water. So it could be also the considering of putting out fires in your everyday life. Oh, healing waters and Merkaba. So I am seeing here, back to circle. Yeah, waddle where you want to go. Waddle where you want to go. With Merkaba coming through and this being the, do your own research, but energy of energy. And here with this guy that just keeps doing his wobble, don't worry about trying to put a circle into a box. There is this divine spiral, right? Yes, the echoes of one. Thank you. Transmutation, 44. It's interesting. Sometimes it's like there's what's going on in my head, then there's what I'm saying out loud, and then not saying out loud enough in time with. Anyway, again, the air with these butterflies, phases of the moon, I'm seeing 1 to 2, although I believe they're from different decks, but the echoes of 1. And so this square, you can see these squares that are inside the circles. It's almost like square-shaped circle frames, you could say. So again, I am seeing it that your intuition, your psychic sensing side, your divine feminine intuitive nature is taken care of. It's fine. Don't worry about it. She's in full bloom. It's actually about picking up now and going to a new land, a new earth. Well, this does bring me to, I've been watching videos from Lee Harris, who is channeling the Z's. And I'm not here to say anything in confirmation of what is or is not. But what I will say is that when I listen to what Lee Harris's body is speaking in claim of it being the Z's, it is things that I have known since forever, as my voice comes out, and I don't know how to explain this, but being in recognition of how the world and the worlds work, of how universi align, is how I'll phrase that. And him and also Pam Gregory, who's an astrologist, have been talking about this, not that deck, have been talking about a new earth. And sometimes I'm just really mindful of language because I never want anything that I'm saying to mirror, although it totally will. I don't want what I say to be taken as proof of someone's delineated thought. And I know that as soon as we open our little mouths and we start speaking and we put that speak onto public platforms for people to find, it can and will be taken out of context. And that is something that someone as a background, as a social scientist and like a healthcare practitioner, ooh, that makes me weak in the knees. That makes me so scared. That idea of like, oh, damn, I can put something out there and then that could be what is a tipping point for someone, as one of my decks over there just shifted. And we are not responsible for every single thing on Earth. Star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. I remember. So I'll talk about it. When I'm like on a giggly high. Anyway. When we are talking about a new earth, there's all of these ways of viewing it. And what I have seen people talk about is from 3D to 5D. But I don't often see people talk about 4D, but they will talk about time. And I might be a little rambly all over the place, but well, we're 10 minutes in, so you're in anyway. People talk about the new earth, and then there's the what I don't believe area, which is people saying that we're gonna get sent to a new physical place, like we are all going to travel somewhere. I believe a lot of this comes from us being in ignoration, I'll say, of our current reality. And we want something different, so all we know how to do is erase what is in front of us and think we can just copy and paste what it means to exist. Out it goes, right? It's not about, actually, I'm gonna put that worry, that fear, that responsibility of being in charge of other people's interpretation of language, I'm gonna put that to rest. That's what I'm going to claim that candle as. And also putting to rest, I'm not talking about we're all going to get zoomed up to another planet. I'm not saying that a new Earth is another physical Earth comes and replaces this one. I will talk about that philosophical question of you have this boat, and let's say it's made of 444 pieces of wood. And over time, each piece of wood, there's a hole in the boat, there's a leak, they need to replace the wood, a new panel, a new paddle, blah, blah. At some point, at the end of a day, all 444 pieces of wood have been replaced. Is this the same boat? Or is this a new boat? And I know that that's a very common philosophical conceptualization. And what I say to that is the same way that I am viewing this new Earth. It is not about another rock in space replacing what we have here. It's all of the 444. It's by every single person upon themselves, right? So I'll say it's the responsibility of every single person, but I know that not every single person is going to do it. So I'm speaking to the people who are of the chosen 444, meaning that you are pursuing this change. It is for you to be raising your vibration and doing what it is that you feel called to be doing here. It's not about you taking on the responsibility for all of the pain and suffering in the world and taking away all the hurt and harm and replacing it with goodness, because that is outside of your ability. What I believe the work is about looking within to see, what do I want to do? What makes me radiate joy? What raises my vibration? What am I responsible for? I think there's a lot of power within recognition of energy and clarifying our role. Because if we keep feeling responsible for more than what is within our control, we're going to be drip, drip slipping into that martyrdom spiral, right? But if we are very clear on what it is that we are responsible for, which is within what we want to do, what brings us joy, then and there, this is where we are able to be birthing the new Earth through becoming the new human, person by person, choice by choice. And as I was just looking at this here, I'm seeing these 3 dot orb stars, bright shiny things in the sky directly above each of these pyramids. And what's also pointing out to me are these two up here, there and there. And I'm seeing this shape. Forgive me, I don't know which entity or person or myth this is representing, but what I do see is this lit up above the crown chakra. And this one next to it, and there being no apparition here, it is our place to put ourselves in with space. Again, not that we are all going to be flying into the sky and living on Mars, but it's be the change you want to see in the world. If you think that things are so cruddy, okay. Forget about everything going on everywhere in the world. They want you to siphon away your energy, caring about all these things that are outside of your control so that you have nothing left for yourself. Then you continue to be a cog in the machine, right? What happens when individual by individual chooses to awaken and strategically explore what role they feel called to fulfill? Again, not do you feel like you have to do, but what brings you joy. Like, you might be really good at engineering, and you may feel pressured to continue in the career of becoming an engineer and building bridges so people have safe passages of crossing. But you want to cook. Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off really sends you to the moon. You know what I mean? Like, that's what brings you joy. Okay. Do what it is in life that will make you feel like wanting to be an asshole less of the time. And so if you're doing what you feel you are forced within, what will you do? Resent it. In one form or another, that will always come through. Okay. Given this, I'm going to do another reading, but I will pause this one here. So thank you for watching. If this resonates with you, sparks interest, you're curious about, you can like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to hear from me more often. If you are interested in joining the 444 Collective, you can go down into my description and click on the link to my Substack. It's basically a virtual ecosystem that we are growing where we can talk. I don't want to say it's a mystery school, but it's that vibe of being able to have these conversations in closed spaces as opposed to opening up dialogue for every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Stay tuned.